Hey, my name is Fallout, and even after 6 years of YouTubing, some people still don't know that I have a Twitch channel. Please follow me on Twitch. I need praise and constant validation. I mean, the streams are really fun. Please join. Alrighty. Where were we? Right. If you haven't noticed, the Vex Mythoclast is really popular in PvP right now. According to Destiny Trials report, as I record today's video, Mythoclast was the #1 most used primary weapon in week 3 of Trials, aka Zone Control Trials. It even edged out other long-goated primaries like Ace and Thorn, and even beating out new favorites like the Darkest Before. Vex has an optimal time to kill of 0.77 seconds, which if you didn't know is faster than 140 RPM hand cannons, which are at 0.87 seconds. But you don't need to hear me talk about how good it is. You know it's already good. You've probably been melted by it in PvP before. You're here because you want to know how to get it with as little pain and frustration as possible, even if you're a raid noob who's never stepped 1 foot into the VoG raid before. Well, here we go. I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Unlike farming Riven, Vault of Glass has no wish wall, meaning that unlike the last wish raid, you can't punch in some cheat code that will auto teleport you to the final encounter. There are ways you can get around that, more on that later, but odds are good you may have to go through the entire VoG raid at least one time to get the Atheon checkpoint. More bad news. Like hunting for the 1k voices, Vex Mytho is protected by an unbeatable foe, bad RNG. While it is possible to get Vex on your first, second, or third try, it ain't likely. Odds are good that you're gonna have to do this for more than 1 week. Now for the good news. Unlike the last wish raid, VoG doesn't feature anything like the very annoying Queen's Walk activity. Just a straightforward boss fight. You beat the crap out of Atheon and you get loot. Rinse and repeat. And now for the good-ish news. Atheon can be one-phased, but it's gonna take a bit more work than Riven. In fact, I'm gonna let you know right now that if you don't have certain weapons, your fire team is likely gonna wind up doing an Atheon 2-phase. But hey, that's actually no big deal, because once you understand the Atheon mechanics, it's very easy. I'd say that you should plan for the 1-phase, but if you've gotta go for a 2-phase, you're only adding 1 extra minute to the boss fight, and you really shouldn't give a shit. If you're interested only in the loadout recommendations, go ahead and skip ahead in the video to the time on your screen right now. For all you raid newbie boobies out there, I'm gonna first go over how to hold the Atheon checkpoint from week to week. Yeah, you can do that. And second, I'm gonna go quickly over the Atheon encounter mechanics. All right, holding the Atheon checkpoint from week to week. If you work from home or you go to school remotely, or if you just happen to find yourself routinely at home on a Tuesday at around the time of D2 reset, you are in luck. If you're in the Atheon boss room checkpoint at the time D2 launches the weekly reset on Tuesday, you can literally hold on to the Atheon checkpoint from week to week without having to do the entire raid over again. Be in the Atheon encounter at Tuesday before reset, and when reset happens, have a friend join your fire team. Both of you launch the encounter, wipe, and reload the encounter. Maybe do that 2 times just to make sure. Now, when you've done that, you stay in the Atheon room. Now have your friend leave your fire team and have them load up the VoG raid on their own. If they spawn in the Atheon encounter, they have the checkpoint. Now you just join their fire team, launch the encounter again, both of you wipe for good measure. Now you should both have the checkpoint fresh for that new week. You can do that every week and hold onto the Atheon checkpoint forever. If you lose it for whatever reason, you can always load up an LFG website and hope to find somebody who will share a checkpoint with you. Okay, so you got your Atheon checkpoint. If you're new, a quick rundown of how the fight works. Shoot the cube to begin and kill time by shooting Vex for about a minute. Take note, the Vex harpies that fly up in the air on the far left and right side of the back of the room leave 1 harpy alive in each group. If you kill all of them, then more will respawn immediately, so just leave 1 alive for now on each side. Eventually, Atheon will teleport 3 members of your fire team at random to an identical boss room location. There, you'll have to pick up a relic, head down the stairs, and then shoot and break oracles, aka red glowing lights, in a very particular order. The order of which ones to shoot will be read out loud to you by your teammates back in the actual boss room, who will be looking at the exact same oracles. To make sure everybody is on the same page, be sure that everyone in the fire team can agree on the oracle callouts in advance. There are a lot of callout variations floating around out there. You gotta make sure that you're all on the same page, because if you aren't, it can lead to confusion.
Second one is first one is second, third one is third. My gosh.
What?
At the moment, I do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 callouts, giving each oracle a number. However, some people like to go with descriptive callouts like back left, back middle, back right, and front left, front middle, and front right, or whatever. I'll link my original VOG guide in the video description if you want more information regarding the oracle callouts. There are going to be 3 waves of oracles, and again, make sure you're shooting them in the exact correct order as called out by your team. Quick tip, to get the DPS phase quicker, have the oracle shooting team make base camp right in front of whatever teleporter they will eventually leave. For Mars, that'll be the teleporter on the right, and for Venus, that'll be the teleporter on the left. Team inside the boss room, make sure you open up the correct teleporter to ensure the oracle team can actually leave once they've finished shooting the oracles. Go ahead and ask them which room they've been teleported to when they get taken away. Stand on the pillar for that corresponding area to open the teleporter and allow them to come back. Venus will be on the right and Mars will be on the left. After 3 waves of shooting oracles, and if the teleporter is open, oracle shooting team can come back into the boss room, and now everyone will group up together to damage Atheon. Originally, teams used to jump to the middle island of the boss room because it seemed like the right thing to do. Now, teams usually stand right in front of Atheon because they ain't really scared of him anymore, on the stairs outside whatever teleporter the oracle team will come back through. It's a lot quicker and with less of a chance of falling into a giant bottomless pit. Go ahead and damage Atheon until you can't damage him anymore, and keep your eyes peeled on your HUD for a timer that will mark one guardian on your team as detained. When that timer hits 0, that guardian will get trapped in a bubble and needs their teammates to shoot and break that bubble. If you're too close to your teammates when you get detained, everybody will get detained, so avoid that and have whoever is about to be detained move forward a little bit towards Atheon, away from everybody else. When Atheon is immune and can no longer take damage anymore, that is one complete phase over. Now rinse and repeat. If that all sounds confusing, don't worry, I'll show a full unedited run at the end of the video. Okay, you hopefully got a checkpoint, you know how to hold it from week to week, you know how the boss fight goes. Let's go over team loadouts. The easiest way to one phase Atheon in Season of the Lost without a doubt is using the 1000 voices. Paired together with particle deconstruction, the armor mod found on your artifact, it is easy peasy damage. If you don't have the 1k, 2 things. 1, check out my video on how to very easily maybe get that gun by cheesing Riven, link down low in the video description. And thing number 2, you can use other things to deal big damage to Atheon, and I'll go over what they are in a minute. In addition to wailing on Atheon, ideally with a 1k with particle deconstruction, you'll want to throw the following other things onto the giant damage pile. Focusing lens, also found on your artifact. When standing in a Radiant Warlock well, all weapon damage will count as light damage, meaning you need only one person on your team to damage Atheon with something stasis to make him slowed or frozen, and you will all get the extra damage buff from focusing lens provided you are standing in a Radiant Warlock well. The Revenant Silence and Squall Super is our go-to choice because it's easy and hits him hard, but I'm sure a Duskfield Grenade would do in a pinch. Remember that while particle deconstruction, once activated, will debuff the boss for the entire team, everybody in the fire team needs to have on focusing lens in order to take advantage of the focusing lens damage buff. Moving on. Earlier in Season 15, the way the game was coded, particle deconstruction would not play nice with a lot of other debuff effects, including the Divinity. Ever since September 24th, however, Divinity now does stack together along with particle deconstruction. That has been confirmed by Reddit user Court, who, if you've ever seen his master spreadsheet, which I refer to a lot, you'll know is really on the goddamned ball when it comes to this kind of info. So in a perfect world, you'll want to do the following to Atheon. Everyone on your fire team should have particle deconstruction and focusing lens. Warlock drop a Radiant Well, and a Revenant Hunter on your team hits Atheon with Silence and Squall. Everyone gets in the Warlock Well, and one person hits Atheon with Divinity if you have one. Everyone else now will unleash Hell with their 1000 voices, and you don't stop until Atheon is a pile of ash. Whoever is holding the relic, remember that you can temporarily drop the relic and damage Atheon for a few seconds before needing to pick it up again. If you leave the relic on the ground for too long, your entire fire team will die. So if you're scared about causing a total team wipe, yeah, you can hold on to the relic the entire time and just hit Atheon with the charge up super attack. But if you're confident you really want to guarantee that one phase, drop the relic, fire off a few shots, and pick up the relic to reset the death timer, and drop again to keep shooting. Also, you should have on one fusion rifle reserve armor mod on your chest piece to give you more 1k ammo, as well as double fusion rifle loader mods on your gauntlet armor in order to greatly improve the 1k reload speed. If you don't have anyone with the Divinity, no problem, 6 1k voices will do fine. In the event that someone, or maybe even no one on your team, has the 1K voices, don't panic, we got other options. In the fusion rifle department, the Null Composure, or any rapid-fire frame fusion rifle with the perk Vorpal Weapon, can do good damage. I've got me a Cartesian coordinate with Vorpal, and it does A-OK. The Merciless exotic fusion rifle can also do good damage, but you gotta get used to the weird ramped up rate of fire. I know all three of those things are only special weapons and the 1K is a power weapon, but still. In the power weapon department, Sleeper Simulant is a damn fine option, but it's important that you have the exotic catalyst unlocked or it's gonna feel sluggish like an old shopping cart with a bad wheel. You can also roll deep with any legendary linear fusion rifle that has Vorpal Weapon. If you are gonna go with the linear fusion rifle route though, make sure that whoever on your team first shoots Atheon does so with a regular fusion rifle. Not to confuse you with a bunch of math, but particle deconstruction has 5 levels of effectiveness, and it's based on whoever debuffs, i.e. shoots the target first. So if you shoot Atheon with a regular fusion rifle, because you're spray shooting him with a bunch of individual fusion rifle bolts, you're gonna ramp deconstruction all the way up to level 5 immediately. On the other hand, if you hit him with a linear fusion rifle first, you'll now need to hit him 4 more times with that linear fusion rifle to ramp the PD debuff up to level 5, which could take a while. TLDR, hit Atheon first with a regular fusion rifle, then shoot his ass with linear fusion rifles just to be safe. Because we have focusing lens turned on, it would be a great idea to throw out some very quick supers at Atheon before shooting him with fusion rifles. Titan players, Falling Star Thunder Crash is going to do big damage here. Just make sure that after damaging Atheon, you get back to the group and don't get ground pounded into the giant hole in the middle of the map. You can run a Bubble Titan too. It doesn't 100% stack with Radiant Well focusing lens, as I've heard around the neighborhood. Check out the following Reddit post for more info on that. And while Bubble will give you a bit more weapon damage, I would rather just mash Atheon's face into the carpet with Falling Star Thunder Crash than go back to fusion rifling. Hunter players should not run Tether because the Tether debuff does not stack with particle deconstruction. Instead, aside from the one Revenant Hunter yeeting a tornado at Atheon, other hunters would be keen to slap on the Celestial Nighthawk and Bottom Tree Goldie. Warlock players, you need one Radiant Well, duh, and aside from that, a quick Bottom Tree Nova Bomb would be a-okay. I'ma tell you right now, if you don't have a bunch of 1Ks on the team, it is very, very likely that you're gonna have to resort to two-phasing Atheon. He has a buttload of health, and the DPS window isn't very long. But the good news is, who really cares? Doing a second round of Atheon damage takes little to no time at all. As long as you have the overall mechanics down and your Oracle callouts are good, you'll be fine. Remember, have you or a friend save that Atheon checkpoint from week to week. If you can, gear up, burn through it 3 times, making sure to save the checkpoint on another character so you don't lose it, and eventually RNG will be in your favor. Good luck to all of you. Hope you get that Vex Mytho. Check the video description for a write-up of all the recommended weapons and armor mods, and I will end the video now with a full unedited run of an Atheon 1 phase. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share today's video with a friend who still needs the Mytho. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.